Welcome back to Broken Electronics. I'm Lee, and it's great you could spend some time here with me today. This video is kind of an unplanned video in that I was going to do a series of upgrades on my PowerMac G4 Quicksilver, which has been featured in this channel in the past. Well, I went to do a clip showing where it is currently. Pressed the power button, and long story short, we got a pop, not a loud pop, but a pop, and that was that. Clearly the answer is that the power supply is gone, and that was something that happened. So I have obtained another power supply. Interestingly, they are really very easily available on eBay, not necessarily cheaply available, but not that bad, and very easily available because the machines did have a problem with that. So, the title of this channel is Broken Electronics. So many of the machines that I deal with are not really broken, but I guess this one is, so I'm going to try to fix it. I really hope that you can accompany me on this little journey here, and if you can, please stay tuned. Well, here we have the Quicksilver, complete with its State of Washington University of Washington sticker on it. This was clearly a university machine. We can open it up. Power supply's here. Now, of course, we're going to need to disconnect everything in the machine that is connected to power. This USB 2 FireWire 400 card, to which is attached the boot drive, is certainly one of those. Also, this SSD that is attached to the IDE cable through an adapter is going to need to be detached. We'll also need to disconnect and actually remove the optical drive and zip drive. That's necessary really just to have room to work in here. And we will need to disconnect the power from the logic board itself. All right. The easiest of these is really going to be here. And trying to connect the floppy drive power. That's done. I guess we'll leave the adapter in there. All right, now, also disconnect the floppy drive adapter there, since we're going to need to reuse that. And we have here another floppy power connector. I could do this without removing the card. I'm going to unplug the drive. All right. No big deal to take the card out, I guess. We can do this the easy way, just disconnect the adapters. There's like two adapters in there. I'm not quite sure why I have two adapters attached to that. Okay, so that's all there. All right, well, we'll deal with that later. The next big thing that's going to have to be dealt with is the optical drive here. Now, the screws that hold in the optical drive, there's one there. That's very easy to get at. One back, all the way back in there. Not quite so easy to get at. There's one hiding in here. There it is, behind the IDE cable, and then there's one right over here. Now I suppose it might be nice if I could possibly do this without removing the optical drive and the zip drive. That would be for the better. Okay, there's one IDE. There's the other IDE, so the IDE is out of the way. And the age-old problem, yeah. I am probably not going to be able to get the Molex power cables disconnected without removing the drive. That would appear. Well, the easy screws to get at, here's one. And two. Now, if nothing else, having removed the IDE cables, makes it a little easier to get at this one here. Okay, there we go. And then this guy back here. Fold back there. Okay, so they're all out. And now, yep, that just pulls out. That's coming. And then finally, Molex to the zip drive. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, look, I'm going to fiddle with this off camera. Stay tuned. Okay, we got that. I did have to actually remove the zip drive from the enclosure. One of the screws in there actually secures the zip drive into place, so it's kind of loose. Once I did that, I was able to pull a Molex connector pretty easily. All right, now I've disconnected one of the connections to the logic board. And the other one really doesn't want to come. There are tabs on the back that you should be able to press on. And then remove. Well, of course, it just doesn't want to come out. Well, you see what I'm doing. So again, I will fiddle with this thing off camera. Stay tuned. We must keep in mind, of course, that this is a computer from 2002, making it fully 19 years old. It did come out. It just required some force. It's probably never been removed. All right, next step. Power supply. It's now completely disconnected. And there are 4 screws to be removed. There's one up here, one down here. There's one here that's securing the power supply cords there. So we need to be able to get the power supply cords off. And then the final one is tucked in here. You can't see it very easily. Alrighty then. This one's pretty easy to get at. Famous last words. So I'm going to require... Oh, that was the wrong screwdriver. Yeah, the problem is it gets in there all right, but it's hard to get enough of a grip on the driver to get some torque on it. Any easier luck with this? Oh, man. Well, we may be in a liquid wrench situation, but I will struggle with them a bit and see if I can have any more success. So, once again, stay tuned. Well, I think we've got the answer here. A longer Phillips screwdriver. And the fact that it's got this hole in it, I was able to use a smaller screwdriver to force the screw back there to actually begin to turn. And now it's coming free pretty easily. All right. Keep these screws separate. They're not the same now. The one up here. Okay, that's in there. That's done that one too. Oh, okay, I'm going to continue with this. You don't need to watch this process. Please stay tuned. Okay, we're free. I'll tell you, this set has been worth a tremendous amount. Not only it has extensions in it, it's got a flexible one, and look at all of those bits that you have in there. You can pretty much get to anything. This will now come in handy because I've got torque screws, actually hex screws to get at in the back. If this doesn't do it, I've got a complete hex set as well. All right, so we need to reposition so you can see that, so please stay tuned. Okay, the one drawback of this tripod is it only goes down so far, so it's a little hard to see. One screw here, one here, and one here. We'll see if this bit works. It's the closest I've got. and it seems to be fine. I hope it's as well magnetized. Yep. Okay. There we go. And then finally, okay, so that should enable us to get something to happen and actually be able to remove the power supply. Yes, indeed, it has come right loose. Now there is, I'll try to get this moved without totally deranging you here. Now there is a connection to this fan that is really hard to see, but I am sure I'll be able to deal with that. So you hang on a bit, we'll be right back with you. Okay, I see what's going on. It wasn't where I expected it. I was expecting it to be somewhere here in the advance of the fan, but there is a cord connecting to the fan here, and the connector connects thusly. And there is in fact a tab on the back you can press to disconnect that. And with that, we will eventually be able to get this to come out. But that's going to be a fiddly process too, because there's a lot of cables that have to come up to here. All right. Yeah, enable it to slide right out. Of course, naturally. It'll slide right out. Sure it will. All right. Now, can we get that over here? And that, therein lies the problem. Okay. Okay, you know, my friends, this is going to come out. Exactly how I'm going to get it to come out, I'm not exactly sure yet, but it is going to come out. So please stay tuned. And sure enough, it has. And now it's just a matter of feeding all the rest of these cables up and through. Okay. Almost there. Now the big hassle is the logic board connectors. Let's see if I can get this one up and through first. There we go. Now with that one out of the way, and we're just, oh shoot. Come on, come on. Come on, you're almost there. And one more Molex, and we're free. Okay, so we're going to need to remove this plate on the back so we can attach it to the new power supply. See if we can do a bit of a cleaning on the fan while we're in here and in the rest of this, since we've got a lot of dust that's come in there. Yeah, so we'll get some compressed air on that. All right. So next step, new power supply in. All right, please stay tuned. All right, as I was airdropping the videos, I took a rough addition at the length of all of the clips. And in the interest of trying to keep my videos at least a little bit more manageable in terms of length, I think the appropriate idea here is going to be to split it. we've got the machine apart. The power supply is out. It wasn't really that bad as I commented. Kind of a fiddly process, but very doable. So it's out now. The machine needs a cleaning out, which I will certainly give it. And then we will move on from that point to putting that new power supply in. Now, past experience indicates it may be a bit more challenging getting the machine to go back together than it was taking apart. We shall discover that one. But in any event, I think the smartest thing to do here is going to be to end this video at this point. So, be good to other people. Other people really need it and they deserve it. We all need someone to be good to us from time to time. We can make this world a better place, so you be good to yourselves so that you can enjoy that better place. Sadly, right now it is not that better place. So please take very, very good and careful care in these most difficult times. Now we are going to have, assuming that this power supply replacement works, several more videos on this machine in particular, and who knows what may come up after that. So until that time, this has been Broken Electronics.